Hello everyone, this is Healthy Options with Maureen. Today we'll be making pizza in two different ways. We'll be using the oven and we'll be using the stove top as well. The good thing about this pizza is that we use healthy ingredients to substitute for the regular ones you see in the regular pizza. Very nourishing, very tasty. Come with me as we make this. I know for sure you will like this. Don't forget to subscribe and give us a thumbs up if you do like this video. Thank you. So for our pizza dough, we'll be needing some whole wheat pastry flour. If you don't have whole wheat pastry flour, you can use regular whole wheat flour, but remember to get it sieved before using. We also need some oat flour, and if you don't have oat flour, you can use whole wheat flour all through, or whatsoever flour you're using. You can use it all through for the baking. But I like to add a little bit of oat flour because it helps give it more fiber and it makes the dough richer. We need some warm water, some brown sugar, olive oil or whatever vegetable oil you have will work as well, as long as it's neutral tasting. Some garlic powder, this is completely optional. We need some salt, I'm using sea salt in this case. Then this is the yeast I'm using. It's called Vahin. I like it because it has no additives whatsoever. If you can find any yeast that doesn't have any additives, that will work very well. Like you can see, it says sans additive. That will make you sure you're not adding anything apart from yeast to your dough. But if you can't find Vahin, you can just use whatsoever you find that works as well. It's important to go through whatsoever ingredients you have while buying your yeast. It has no additives and it's just pure yeast. Right now we'll commence with making our dough. Right here we have an empty bowl, and I'm going to start with about half of the whole wheat pastry flour. Just going to add about half into the bowl. That's about a cup. Salt goes in, sugar, garlic powder, the yeast goes in as well. And then I'll be giving this a stir to combine. I'm going to just make a hole and I'll be adding the warm water. The warm water goes in alongside the oil. I'm going to give this a good mix to really combine. So why we are adding our flour in batches is because we may not need everything that we already measured out. Another reason why we're adding it in batches so we can give this a good mix so that it can activate the yeast as well. So we have a good mix now, and the next thing that will be going in, of course, will be your oat flour. And now you can start gradually adding the remaining whole wheat flour that you have. You add in bits so that you don't have a very tough dough or a very dry dough. I'll be giving it a stir to see if we'll be needing more or if what we have is just right. So a little more flour goes in. So at this point I'm going to pour it onto the surface and I'm going to start kneading to bring everything together. Right here we're just gonna place this on the surface. How I added was just right. Like I said, it's important for you to know that you add bit by bit so that you don't make your dough too dry. And that's the motion in which we need. So you know your dough is ready by the time it gives you a smooth texture like this. I'm just going to place this in a bowl and then just have some oil on it that way. You just rub round, make sure it's coated with the oil as you can see. Then I'm going to cover this with a damp cloth and let it rise for about 45 minutes to an hour, depending on the yeast you used. So if it about doubles in size, that's exactly what you need. So I'm going to use a towel to cover the surface that way, a damp towel. I'll let it rise for some time and then I will come back and show you what next to do. So for the pizza sauce, we'll be needing some tomato. As you can see, I cut this into chunks, garlic, oregano leaves. I like to use dry oregano a lot for this pizza sauce, but if you don't find it, whatever dry herb you have that is not too strong tasting will go very well as well. Then we need salt to taste. So into the blender goes our tomatoes. The garlic goes in as well, and then the salt goes in as well. We are going to blend into a smooth puree. I'll be turning this into a pan now so I can place it on heat. So into a pan it goes. I like to add on the oregano at this stage, and I'm going to just give it a mix. So we'll be placing this on heat, and then we'll let it boil down to the right consistency. This is just the perfect stage. I'll turn this out in the bowl now, and then we'll be using this on our pizza. It took close to an hour, not quite there, but about an hour for the pizza dough to double in size, and that's what we have here. So depending on the temperature of where you are, it could take from 45 minutes upwards. Sometimes it could actually take less. So that's what we have here, and the next step right now is to deflate this. Going to deflate this, and then we're going to place it on a lightly floured surface. And I'm just going to knead this gently. I'm just going to share this into 4 pieces. So I'm just going to let this rest just for a couple of minutes while I start grating the cheese that we'll be using for the pizza. So I'll just cover this, let it rest here. So for the cheese, I like to use some mozzarella cheese and some Emmental cheese. I find these are more healthy cheeses because they are quite low in sodium. So I like to grate my own cheese myself. It's always better because whenever you buy pre-grated cheese, you find out that it has additives in it. So I like to buy my own cheese in blocks and grate myself. So right now I will set the cheese aside. So this will be one of our toppings, and of course for pizza you can use anything for your toppings. So I like to add some cabbage and some vegetables to be able to make it a complete meal. I'll be leaving a link in the description box on how to make this sauce with minced meat. You can actually check it out in the card above by clicking the card above. That will show you too how to make this sauce. And so for the pizza dough that goes into the oven, just going to roll this into a ball and then smash it down with my hands into a flat circle. And I'll be greasing the base this time down this way. So we're just going to apply the tomato paste, and then we'll be scooping on the toppings as well, spreading it out as we go. And then last but not the least, the cheese will be going on. I've been preheating the oven for about 20 minutes now because pizzas really do need a very hot oven. So this will be going into the oven now. And that's what it looks like at this stage. The base too is white, crispy and brown at this stage. So that's what the pizza looks like. The one we got out of the oven right now. I just got it out of the oven. You can see the cheese is still bubbling because I put it under the grill so that it can brown up a little bit. So right now I'll be slicing into it. I serve it after I cut it, and we usually enjoy this pizza a lot whenever we have it. It's really nice. So for the pizza dough that goes on the stove top, I already started rolling out, and I'm just going to finish by rolling it a little bit thinner because I like this one to be a little bit thinner. These are the toppings we'll be using. I'll be using sausages, I'll be using some bell peppers, a little bit of onion. The tomato puree we made will be going on top. We'll also be using some of our grated cheese. The good thing about pizza is that it's very versatile. You can use whatsoever you like for your topping. So I'm just going to apply a little bit of oil on the surface. We've been heating up our skillet, and the part that has the oil will be going face down on the skillet. So I'm going to gently pick this up and we'll be headed for our skillet now. So into the skillet it goes. So while the reverse side is cooking, I'll just lightly grease this surface. I'll be flipping so that the reverse side can cook as well. So I'll just give that a quick flip. Immediately we flip, we'll start adding on our tomato puree. At this point, I'll be reducing my heat to very low heat. The cheese goes into at this point. Then we'll be adding our pre-cooked sausages. The green bell pepper is going. Just a little bit of onion slices going. And last but not the least, we'll be topping again with just a little bit of cheese. So I'm just going to be placing this cover over the pan, and I will come back and show you what it looks like by the time it's cooked. I'm going to show you what the base looks like. You can see it's golden brown at the base, and that's exactly what we are looking for. So we'll just be turning this onto our dish, and then we'll be slicing into it. So we're just going to be slicing into this. So that's what it looks like. You can see the cheese go. How great it is. That's what the base looks like. Golden brown, not burnt, perfectly cooked through. So this is going to taste really great and very delicious. So I hope you do give this recipe a go and let us know what your take is on this. Please, if you've not subscribed, don't forget to do so by hitting on the subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up if you like this video, and do share as well. Thank you.